good, my YouTube family? Thank you so much for tuning back into this video. This video will be my biceps routine for growth. So basically the main routine I do most often to grow my biceps. So thanks for tuning in and I hope you enjoy it. So the first movement I did was standing barbell curls. I did 6 sets of 15 to 6 reps. And this first set here, you see me just doing the bar, and then I moved on to doing 40 kilos, and I'm trying to be as strict form as possible in this movement as I want to basically isolate my biceps as much as possible. As you'll see, I'll probably lean forward a bit, but I'll never, like in this set, I'll never move all the way back, keeping my back perpendicular. Also on the way down, trying to tense my tricep and then really squeezing on the way up, just to really isolate that bicep and trying to get the best pump possible. So I think I hit about 10 reps of 40 kilos, and then I moved on to another 2 sets, adding weight until I got up to 60 kilos. And then you'll see next I did some cheat curls, which some people think are unconventional and unnecessary, but I really enjoy them and think there's a lot of growth in them if you can do them without injuring yourself. So I think I got 4 to 6 reps of this, and then did a drop set after this of just 40 kilos, repping out as much as possible. So you see, I am cheat curling, but there is a lot of growth that can be involved in this, and obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger is famous for this movement. So, yeah, so I'm quite struggling there. So I'll drop set that down to back down to 40 kilos. And try and rep out as many as possible. So, but this was my 6th set, and this was the last set drop set. So really squeezing tightly and repping out as many as possible. Form is important, but guys, you cannot always focus on form. Sometimes you need reps are more important than form. When you're just trying to really flush out the muscle and get as much growth as possible, you just need to rep it out. Try and always keep your back, unless you're doing cheat curls like I did before, from going behind and not overextending. So next we moved on to preacher curls, and this is how I like to position myself unless I'm doing extremely heavy. I just feel like I get a better contraction in my biceps and allow for a better extension. When I get a bit heavier, I mainly sit on the actual seat instead of like stretching over like this. But if you haven't tried this, I really recommend it. I feel like I get a way better stretch in my biceps and contraction, and then that's gonna aid in my growth in the long term. So I did 10 kilos there, and then this is my 5th set, and I got just repped out as many as possible. So doing 50 kilos here. So getting as many reps as possible, and I'm not actually going all the way down in this one because the fact it is extremely heavy, and I'm still going to be stimulating my biceps. Then this is the last set I did of 30 kilos, I'm pretty sure it is, and just getting about 10 to 12 reps, really squeezing, really getting a pump into the biceps. When you're doing preacher curls, you want to make sure that you're not actually curling with your wrist. You want to take the pressure off your wrist as much as possible and try and contract your biceps and really squeeze. If you're focusing on your wrist so much, you won't be feeling as much in your biceps. Next, we moved on to alternating dumbbell curls. So I started with the 12.5 kilos, getting 24 reps or 12 a side, and we did 5 sets of this, and we got down to 20 kilos for about 8 reps a side, so 16 reps total. So basically each set I do with anything really, I'm upping the weight unless the weight is already heavy enough and I can get decent amount of reps. I'll continue with that weight just to stimulate as much growth as possible. A lot of people don't know, but guys, when you want to grow and you want to grow muscle, you need progressive overload. So you need to be constantly growing, and you need to be constantly adding weight to the exercises you're doing. So adding weight, reps and sets. So if you are doing 12 kilos one session, try doing 13 the next. That tiny difference will make you grow. So here I am doing 20 kilos and just trying to get as many reps as possible. I think I've got 16 total. And then after this, drop setting it down to back to 12.5 and repping it out. When you're in the gym, guys, you basically want to leave completely stuffed. Like, if you want to maximize your growth and your potential to grow, you want to completely leave stuffed. I'll admit, I sometimes have bad sessions and I'm not always going to have the most intense session, but 95% of the time I'll go into the gym with the right mentality to have an incredible session and completely leave the gym knowing that I've given it my all. Next, we moved on to spider curls with using the barbell. I find this is a really great isolation exercise for my biceps, and it really improves my peaks. I have come to notice over the time of doing it. Not many people do this, well, beginners, but I think you should really incorporate it into your workouts, as it is a really good movement. So we started on, I think it's 30 kilos and then moved up to, did a drop set, no, we started on 40 kilos and then did a drop set down to 20, as you'll see here. And we did 6 sets of this and 12 to 8 reps. Really focusing on the squeeze, guys, through this movement. Next, we moved on to the hammer curls. Hammer curls are really important when trying to build the width from the front of your biceps. So if you're standing front onto someone and you see that they have wide biceps from the front, this is the movement that does this. It's really working your brachialis and your forearms, and it's basically going to create that front width in your biceps. Like, no one wants to be looking like skinny, like massive from the side, but then tiny from the front. So I do this every session. I've never not done hammer curls in a session. And then we moved on to supersetting it with the rope. So it's basically the same movement, just with a different, well, you're using dumbbells for that movement and a rope for this movement. It just stimulates it a bit differently, but it creates a really good pump in the biceps and is one of my favorite supersets to do. I would recommend doing hammer curls every single session if you can, as I just think that having thick, wide biceps from the front is one of the most important things in a physique, in my opinion. Like, you look at guys like Steve Cook, how thick their biceps are from the front. It's just amazing to look at. So next we moved on to 5-a-sides, and I know a lot of people will not know what this is, but basically you rep out 5 one side while holding your wrist front. Supinated. Well, anyway, you move on to doing 5 reps each side while holding your wrist out, and then doing 5 reps on the other side, coming back, doing 5 reps and going back and doing 5 reps. So 10 reps total each arm, and it really creates a massive pump in your arms. It is one of the best bicep movements in my opinion. So I did about 12.5 kilos here, 6 sets, and as you can see, my form is pretty dodgy, so I drop the weight down to 10 kilos and try and incorporate better form. Yep, so I've dropped the weight down to 10 kilos and I'm trying to get 5 reps on this side. So that concludes the workout, guys. That is my top bicep workout for growth. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, just message me on any platforms. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate you all. Thank you.